So yeah.
Really?
So anybody that's out there looking to market or in the middle of it or planning to, this is like, yeah, an insurance policy for your time and money on that. So yeah.
Mhm.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
That's fantastic. And then, Brady, one more question is regarding the founders, the startup founders that they are listening the broadcast. Um, why the when starting a business, right?
Yep.
We notice always that that the entrepreneurs they're very product focused. They want to put all the money, time, and energy in design a wonderful product, yeah. And then when they run out of funds and resources, and they cannot sell anything, they just come to you, Brady, can you help me out? uh, so how can we, what message do you have for those entrepreneurs that don't take sales and marketing seriously, especially when they are starting the business, and they think that because they have an amazing product, that's it.
Yeah.
That they thought that is gonna solve a problem, that this is gonna sell by itself, and even worse, that what
Yeah.
actually they create is what they want, what the market want, and how much
Yeah.
they're willing to pay for it. Because sometimes in the startup world, we find very common that we have those entrepreneurs with this amazing product that they have designed that they gonna change the world, and this product is so
Yeah.
good that I would say by themselves. So now they remortgage the house, they ask all the money for family and friends, they develop this. Sometimes it should be an MVP, minimum viable product, and everybody
Yeah.
forget the M, and no minimum
Yep.
anymore. It's an amazing product, and then when everything is exhausted, no resources, now they come to see you for help. So
Yeah.
um, seen it several times.
Yes.
And so, what message do you have for those entrepreneurs? And that's why sometimes you see a lot of VCs and angel investors telling to the founders, forming your next project. Yeah, but not
Yeah.
in that one.
Yeah, and this
So,
is yeah, the message, it's the old sort of story of just, when you open a store, just because you open a store doesn't mean people will show up and shop.
oh, tell
And
me
it's
about it.
yeah.
I got stories
And it
about that
is
one also.
and it's very much like that. Is like you've you have to budget for this. And I think from the beginning, again, to kind of circle back to one of the key things is do that market research. And one of the key things is that if you know what the market is and what your competition is investing, and maybe it's not even excuse me, not even dollar wise, but maybe a percentage of, let's say they make, just roughly, it's the revenue is $10 million a year, but they're spending, a million of that on advertising. Then 10% of your whatever you raise should probably go to marketing or whatever, or just marketing, branding, all that stuff. So it comes down to that research of the industry, of understanding what your competition is selling. It's, you can have the most amazing product, but if it shows up in the market, no one knows about it, or it can't even make it into the market because you spent all that money on the R&D of it, or everything else, then it's just going to show up flat. And then the only thing, you're out there scrambling to get more funding. But it goes back to that one of those original things, is that it's very much about do your research and understand the audience, and understand uh, who your competition is, what the market is, what it's selling, and all of that. And it comes down to one of the key points at the very beginning, one of your top five things, which it was great marketing starts starts before the brief, and play that long game. It is about, understanding, do a 2-year plan and from there. So, but we actually work with a lot of, my agency works with a lot of private equity and VC funds for this exact reason, because there's that gap between, when they get the money
100%.
versus when people, business and everything else. Because, we've all worked with companies being like, hey, we just got $10 million investment, but we now need you to build a website and a marketing campaign for like $50,000 for, such a small fraction of it. And you're like, this is barely going to make a dent, or
Yeah,
even show up even recognizable.
yeah. It
And
doesn't make
what,
sense. It doesn't make
no,
sense.
yeah,
And the entrepreneurs, yeah, they want to achieve X millions in sales, and
yeah,
it is ridiculous because they want to put the rest in development, the product development. If it's a
yeah.
tech company, they want to make the software better, and we are like, hey, try to sell it.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
maybe
here's
there.
Yeah, and here's something I would also just, and people can actually, they'll know and they'll be able to feel this, because just think about how noisy the world is now. Everybody's vying for your attention on a regular basis. So the less you save at the end for marketing, you almost have no option. So just think about how noisy the marketplace is in general, and all
Mm-hmm.
aspects, and you have to slice through that, in a very thoughtful and effective way. And you got to make sure that whatever you have to do that you have, you have enough left over to be able to do that and to be thoughtful of it, because it just, otherwise you're just gonna, in an ocean of noise, you're gonna all but be like a little, like, a little buoy out there, you're gonna be nothing but a rowboat in the ocean, right? And it's maybe someone in a big boat might find you, but think about how much noise there is out there. So make sure that they understand, like, that's something we can all feel, because we know it's just, to get our attention and to be meaningful, it takes a lot. Right. So that's maybe where I'd start, and then work back from there. And, like you had, create the MVP, the M of the MVP, right? So yeah, yeah. And test it. And here's another really big thing. Everybody with these great ideas. And like I said, I started this book 4 years ago, and it's gone through multiple iterations, and it's gotten better because of it. And I didn't just put out a product and just like threw it into the market. I kept on testing it and asking, everybody around me, like, hey, can you proof this? Can you read this? What do you think about this? And, I built it slowly, and thoughtfully, and shared it, and got the response from the market. So when it came to the market, everybody I showed this to, and everybody, that it's like, wow, okay, I get this. And I wouldn't have had that if I didn't do that. So that's one of the key things, is really, create, do the minimal product and test it. And that way too, you also build that following of people, as it grows, even before you launch.
So, Brady, tell us, if somebody's in love with our conversation, how people can find you, how this process work. Tell
Yeah.
us about your book. Where can we buy this book? If it's ready, it's
Abs-
not ready. What is it?
yeah,
The
no, it's
title?
it's yeah, absolutely. It's all ready to go. One of the best places to find me, okay, to start off, and if anybody wants to have a conversation, and I offer this to, everybody that's out there, is that the best place to find me is on LinkedIn. But what I offer is, like, if you're in a
How
situation,
can you mention
yeah,
it, Brady? How can they find you on LinkedIn? Because some people might be listening in the car.
they can find me. My first name's Brady, Brady, Dahmer, Dahmer. Yep, and that's LinkedIn is the best place to find me. And if you find yourself in a sticky situation with a contractor, anything to do with marketing or branding, in all of that, reach out to me on LinkedIn. But to really, get some really, deep knowledge, the book that I have. They can find me on, blindspotshandbook.com. It's also to where all my LinkedIn and Instagram, all the rest of that stuff is. So blindspotshandbook.com is where they can purchase the book. It's all ready to go. It's they can get it print and shipped. It's all on Amazon right now as well. So you can search for Blind Spots Handbook on Amazon as well. But that's probably the two key places that they can find me and track me down. So if that's this as someone was saying before, this book is like a little insurance policy for your marketing budget. So yeah,
Really?
so anybody that's out there looking to market or in the middle of it or planning to, this is like an insurance policy for your time and money on that. So yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And for all of you following the broadcast, see you in our next episode of Unstoppable, how brave entrepreneurs like Brady break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Awesome, Mary. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.